What is up, old school RuneScape players? Your buddy John McGarrett's back with another video. This is a debut video for a new series, a podcast I want to start calling Money Talks, where I try to teach you guys how to make money in any way different possible through principles, through methods, whatever I find. You know, I'm going to think of stuff and just continue a podcast and just whatever I feel is relevant to make you guys money. That's what this is going to be about. But before we jump into this intro episode, I just want to kind of plug myself. If you could, after watching the video or getting some value from anything I posted, please consider subscribing, because if you want to learn how to make money from somebody who actually gives a shit and actually cares if you make money or not, because that is why I made this channel. I do want to help players make money. I love this game, and I want to pass on what I know, little as it may be, or, you know, I got some methods, you know what I'm saying? Please consider subscribing. Please leave a like. Please leave some feedback. Please stay till the end, whatever. So with that being said, thank you. So let's just hop right into it. Shrink myself real quick. So essentially this is Money Talks episode 1. It is a new series here. Again, like I said, it's a new series. I'm just trying this out. It'll probably run for a while. Hopefully I'm getting like 40 some episodes out of it. And I'm going to break shit down to help you make money just in a generic way, because Fresh Start was the old series and that was really fun and stuff like that, and I felt like it was pretty valuable. But I think Fresh Start is over and this is the new beginning to a new like class. I want this to be like a school format, a class format for you to just retain knowledge, retain principles, retain things, to be taught things that are going to carry you in the RuneScape experience. So then the second thing I want to do is show the bank for my main. You can kind of see it in my my thumbnail if you look kind of closely, but I pulled all the items off my accounts and I got about 126 mil here, though you can take about 18 mil from that, because I think this pure essence stack I probably will pitch to the all bulks channel. But I'll pull out my money stack here and we'll put all my stuff in here. Now I have my scimitar collection. I just wanted to show that just to show my overall value, so like when I do bank updates and stuff, we have like kind of a starting point to go from. And then I have two other accounts, two other mains that are trading, and they have 20 mil in the Grand Exchange. So that plus 40 mil, okay? So we got 599, so we'll just say 600 mil here roughly. I don't know if I'd get that for the scimitars and stuff, but we have at least 333 million to work from. And then what's in here is another 100 mil. Now, if you are unaware, I gave away billions of GP. I gave away my whole bank to kind of just let go of my desire, my temptation to hold on to my money and not give what I know away, to kind of start fighting against that. So then this is my rebuilt bank, about starting 4 months ago, I believe now, since when I made this channel, about 4 months. So the Fresh Start series started, I don't remember exactly what day, but I remember in a couple months I went from 0 GP to about 100 to 200 mil GP, if I remember correctly. Let's see if I can just pull that up real quickly. $109 mil, 8/2/24. Okay, so the first day was June 11th, 2024 to 8/2, August 2nd. So June to August 2nd, about 1 month, 3 weeks, I think. That's correct, right? Let me just check here on the calendar real quickly. So June 11th. Yep. July, August, yes. So a month and 3 weeks I was able to take 0 GP, and all free to play. The receipts are all on here, the channel, you know what I'm saying? The Fresh Start series, it outlines everything I've done so far. So that's just kind of my proof to kind of lend credit to myself, so that I am an authority on how to make money using the particular methods I'm going to teach you, at least, okay? And don't worry about like Patreons or giving me money and stuff like that. I want to give all this away for free as much as possible. I am going to try to be transparent and say I am aiming for monetization and stuff like that, so I do appreciate any support that I could get from you guys. But I just wanted to get that out of the way. I am here to try to make you money, but it would be nice to get monetized. It's kind of my own little goal, okay? But yeah, I'm primarily, number one reason is to make you money. Just wanted to reiterate that, kind of really nail that down. Anyway, and it was all free to play. Let me just say that again, just in case I forgot. All free to play. No members items, no members items to get to the 109 mil. No members money makers. There's no rating. There's none of that. It was all flipping free-to-play items. So I'm just saying, like, from a free-to-play perspective, I made all that money, was able to get that in a relatively short amount of time. So and I did it in the series, and it is repeatable. If you link the Discord link down below to our to my community, there's a bunch of testimonials in there, people following my methods and making hundreds and hundreds of mil in a very short amount of time since I've been here. Like I said, the channel's been here for about 4 months. So I'm just saying all this to lend credit to myself, to lend trust, that you can trust what I'm going to try to say. Like the things from this podcast and the things going forward from here. Not necessarily expecting this episode to go be crazy or anything like that. I'm just laying the foundation for the series to move on, and maybe it'll get spicier as time goes on. But this is kind of my intro video, so I'm not really expecting too much from it. But I'm just declaring myself an authority on the subject. Anyway, so now I took a lot of notes, so we can just run it down. So I do like the minimum amount of yapping, like tangents and shit like that. We'll just talk about what I want to talk about. So there's that's done. The new series intro, whatever, that's all done. But now I just want to talk about books, okay? So the first episode's gonna be like nice and chilled, nice and a little less RuneScapey, more like booksy. But the first one I want to recommend is I have right here. It's one of my favorite books ever written. It is called Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. You don't have to buy the book. I don't remember how much it was, but you want to get the 5th edition. But if you want to buy it, I would recommend going on youtube.com and just looking up Thomas Sowell, Basic Economics, and there is a channel that I think I don't know if it's like stolen or not, but I don't care. If you can't afford it, go on the internet, listen to the abridged version. There's it's 14-hour video by a channel that has the book. So just listen to it in your free time. You can get the same experience. So I wrote some notes about what is covered in the book and then some descriptions of those, just so you can kind of get an idea what's in there, so you can kind of see how it's going to help you. This book's going to help you make money. It's going to grow you as an individual. It's going to teach you how economies work. Economics anyway, whatever. This is all of RuneScape is just a giant game of economy. It's just an economy game. So this is just there's a direct parallel, like a one-for-one parallel between this book and the game of RuneScape. When I read this book, it just increased my depth of the markets that I'm involved in and stuff like that. But anyway, tangents aside, let's just go through my list of things in the book that help you understand what's in it and how you're going to get value for it, build a little suspense for it. Anyway, this is just a few of them. So we got Basic Economics, Scarcity and Trade-Offs. Thomas Sowell emphasizes that scarcity is the foundation of economics. Resources are limited, so choices always involve trade-offs. Every decision about using a resource, like time, money, labor, has an opportunity cost, meaning something else must be given up. Now, this is the core principle of all economics, is that there's a limited amount of resources in a space. So decisions have to be made about what's the best course of action, and that's why the entire RuneScape resource from the wiki and just communities and stuff like that has spawned. It's just a giant player conglomeration, a giant aggregate of data of different ways for us to best use our time with the limited amount of time we have available to us. That's why you have terms like gold per hour, AFK, all that type of shit. It all comes from this scarcity and trade-offs, which goes into in-depth like crazy in the book. As you can see, the book is really, really thick. It's really thick. It's got 650 pages. 647 pages of just straight knowledge. And that first chapter, Scarcity and Trade-Offs, is a major one. So anyway, the role of prices. Prices in a free market economy serve as signals that RuneScape is a free market economy. There's slight command economy at work in RuneScape because of Jagex is an institution, but they are the most RuneScape is one of the most free economies in the world, which is why it's such a great game. You are free to do whatever you want. There's pros and cons to that, but it creates such a lucrative environment for economic activity. Anyway, prices in a free market economy serve as signals conveying information about supply and demand. Sowell explains how prices help balance production and consumption, incentivize producers to allocate resources efficiently, and allow consumers to make informed choices without centralized control, which is RuneScape to a key. But this type of concept and just knowing this type of thing will help you decide what activities you should be doing. Watching updates. That's why you have like channels like Scapeonomics and Flipping Old School are the two that pop out of my head because I watch them. I used to watch them a lot, and they talk about like market. They do market watches. They do like they make a bunch of speculations based on updates and stuff like that, because these updates are going to kind of be indicators of how players are going to behave and change the prices of things. Like for instance, I think when a certain raid came out, I don't know if you know what I mean. Like I'm a high volume free to play guy anyway, so I don't know a lot about like the commodity market, like the supplies market, like with prayer potions and super restores and stuff like that. But there was like a time where prayer potions, super restores, Ceradon brews, etc., all shot up like crazy because of like some sort of raid, which increased their consumption because people needed them for the raid or something like that. I don't remember but there's always an update, and that update causes like drains to the economy. It allows more like it creates surpluses of items, but to get to those surpluses, it'll cost a different thing. So then you'll be able to predict price movements and stuff like that, and it'll help you become a better trader. And it just really goes into in depth on how all that works really well in the book, which will just increase your knowledge and help you make better decisions. And then we have the importance of incentives. Can you see that? Okay, just scroll down a little bit. Soul illustrates how incentives shape human behavior and economic systems. Policies that distort incentives like high taxes or subsidies. So you can talk about like the GE tax kind of like disincentivized a lot of certain types of trading, but then it did incentivize other types of trading, and etc. But anyway, like high taxes or subsidies can lead to unintended consequences such as reduced productivity, shortages, or surpluses. So again, just I feel like that's just like intuitively should trigger a bunch of flags in your head green flags in your head going, wow, this is going to be really useful knowledge for me. It'll help me become a better trader, better worker, better whatever. This knowledge is going to be applicable in RuneScape. It's going to be applicable in real life because, like I said, it's direct parallel to real life. That's why one of the reasons why I love RuneScape so much is that there's so many life lessons in the game, from grinding, from trading, from just making mistakes, gaining experience in a make-believe land that doesn't have any real-life consequences. Why I love the game. It's like one of the many reasons I love RuneScape, and I'm trying to just help educate people to become better players and maybe just be a little bit more knowledgeable about things, because ultimately I want to make like a positive impact in the world, and I feel like the only way I can do that from where I'm at right now is to talk about things that are within my reach. So RuneScape's one of those things. So then if I can help you become a better player, then hopefully I can help create better experiences for you outside of RuneScape like it has for me. Like for instance, the grind mindset allowed me to become like the most productive workers at all the factories I've decided to work at. And it has allowed me to work and sustain and set goals for myself and grow myself and maintain better standards for myself, so where I was able to get to a position where I was able to buy a house. And in this market that's like really, really hard in America. So it's just stuff like that. A lot of that came from RuneScape and the experiences I got from RuneScape. Like grinding is like, grind to a RuneScape player is completely different to a normie. So there's that. But anyway, so this is gonna be the controversial part of my video. But I feel like I'm not trying to live by fear anymore. So I'm just gonna say what I feel is gonna help you the best. And the next book I would recommend is from the Bible. I'm not saying to read the entire Bible, but I just wanted to talk about a specific book from the Bible, so don't freak out. I'm not pushing my religion on you or anything like that. I am a Christian, I will say that, but I just want to talk about a specific part of the Bible which has secular value, material value, because again, right here, before you freak out about a religion, chill. Certain things from the Bible give you keys or foundations that translate to getting material gain. You don't need to be a Christian to use the things in the Bible. Don't be a child. I don't care if you're a Christian or not. So I just want to say that, disclaimer, whatever. And this is the book of Proverbs, specifically from the Bible. Just look up Proverbs NIV translation, because it is the least cringe dialect to read, in my opinion. There's no these and thous, and it's not stupid. I don't know. A lot of the, and that it's a cultural thing. I don't want to sit there and diss at the King James or whatever, if anybody, whatever. And I'm not going to talk about that too much, because like I said, it's just a religious shit, but it's like an easier translation to read. So, and I just wrote down a bunch of verses from the book, and I looked up verses and what they blah blah blah, and then I put them into ChatGPT to give us to tie it together to old school RuneScape. So let's just read through it real quick, so that hopefully, and you don't need to read this. I'm just saying, if you want to expand your knowledge, your understanding. This is Money Talks. If you want to expand your money, this is going to help you out. And it's outlined right here. We're just going to read into it, jump into it. So, consistently putting in the time in to grind for resources or train skills pays off in OSRS just as it does in real life. Proverbs 12:24: the hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. So that means if like diligence means like the ones who like get after it, they will rule. So that like you could say, to translate that to RuneScape, is that if you get after it on RuneScape, you're going to be in that top 1%, the billionaires club and stuff like that. But if you're slothful, like you're just bank standing, you're not really fucking doing shit, and that translates to real life as it does in old school RuneScape, you ain't going to get shit, so you're going to be at the bottom of the barrel. Anyway, diligent players who develop skills or farm resources tend to have more opportunities and flexibility in making money. Diligence and hard work. Proverbs 14:23: all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk only leads to only poverty. So if you sit there and just talk about stuff, and this is something I fall into the trap to all the time. I fell into this trap for maybe, let's say, like 5 to 7 years after I turned 18. I was just talking about all the different things I was going to fucking do in my life, and I never did them. But once I started just getting after anything, just pick a path and run to it, walk to it, crawl to it, do whatever. And this applies directly to RuneScape as well as it does to real life. You will bring profit. So, one thing I also want to say about this verse specifically is profit doesn't necessarily mean monetary gain. There's profits that you don't even realize are happening from doing things like skill development, character building, yada yada yada. Sorry. So I just want to say that. But if you talk, a lot of talkers, people who talk a lot, like me, mere talk leads to poverty. So there's the thing. This is also, sorry, I want to comment about this too. This is like really jumping out at me right now, but the thing about talking is like when you're talking and you're imagining it, it feels real. And then when it feels real and you imagine that, you get that high in your brain like, oh man, it would be so cool to have 1 trillion GP. And you sit there and you think about it and how you're going to, you imagine how you're going to grind and get it. And once you get it, you're going to be so cool and you're going to be like one of the coolest players in the game. And you're getting excited about it. That is you experiencing it already. And then you like totally like, from the talking about it and not actually doing it, like you're brought back to reality when you actually start that journey, and it becomes like your expectations way up here about how it's going to feel because you were just talking about it and not doing shit. So when you actually do it, this happens to me all the time, you plummet, you pendulum, you swing, you rubber band, you whiplash, whatever. When you go to start that, you get really demotivated because your expectations now become real, because to get to 1 trillion GP is hard work. So, okay, anyway, just move on. Maybe I don't need to read all these because this might just lengthen the video. I'm only at 18 minutes. This is normal for me. But anyway, patience and planning. Proverbs 21:5. The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. So that, you know what I mean? I say this all the time. PP, patience pays. You plan, you are patient in the grind, you get paid. But if you rush things, like I've done that so many times, look at my channel. I have so many examples of me just rushing things on the YouTube or whatever, or strategies or whatever. You rush, you want to make a quick flip. You rush into a trade, you end up getting wrecked. But if you're slow, you plan stuff out, you do some research, you talk to people, you get feedback, you do stuff like that, you're going to increase the likelihood that you're going to succeed and stuff. And I'm only bringing this up because this is shit that's in the Bible, not the Bible. Proverbs specifically. The entire book is just a bunch of one-liners like this. And then, like, if you just read that, just like whatever you want to do, like a couple verses or whatever, or read the whole book and just like whatever, read it a bunch of times over and over again, it's just going to start digging. It's just going to start like giving you just little one-liners, little things that are just in your head now. So when you come into situations, you already have you're ready. You have a response. I don't know how to explain it another way other than that. Planning the best ways to make money, whether through efficient routes or profitable skills, is often more beneficial than just following impulsive decisions, following your feelings, whatever. Following your feelings, following your guts has utility, but only following impulses is dumb. That's what this verse is kind of talking about, and what that line is probably talking about. So we got Proverbs 13:11. Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow, which is 100%. Like, how many scammers that are fucking like rich and consistently make that money? And even the ones that do have a lot of money, is it worth it because they don't carry any peace with them? Like if you look at any like YouTubers who make a lot of money, the ones that are getting made fun of because they're like they scammed their way to the top and shit like that. Even RuneScape players, there's like a bunch of dishonest rot, for instance. Maybe I'm just like put a fucking hit on my head just saying their name in a YouTube video, but they got hit. They get hit hard. You cheat, you be a scumbag. You put a big target on your back because there's always a bigger fish. Have you ever heard that before? There's always a bigger fish. You think you're hot shit for 1 second. There's always somebody better than you, bigger than you, ready to smack you the fuck down. But anyway, whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. So if you do it honestly and you really grind and you take your time, a couple things. You're going to value it a lot more because you worked hard for it. You know what I mean? Like that's what the boomers all talk about. Like, you damn kids didn't have to work for a damn thing in your life. Yada, 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 yada. But same thing happens to me. You know, I work my ass off for what I got. So like and my wealth has been growing because I've been working my ass off for what I got. It's honest. Like there's less people out there trying to like take it from you because you're not playing on the outside of the law. So then you have the law more so on your side, protecting you from unlawful people, etc. Like cheaters, whatever, in the RuneScape context. But I'm kind of blending this together with real life as well. But anyway, because they are, like I said, repeating myself here again, but it is parallel, and I hope you can understand or see or feel the parallels from this. But anyway, and I'm not. Don't worry about into the future. I don't plan on like talking about religious things specifically. I just like feel this is really important, and I just want to get it out of the way. This is just a super important book. Like in the Bible, there's a bunch of different like books and shit, and this is the one that's usually associated with making money. Like a lot of people who are not religious study Proverbs anyway because it's like a lot of useful wisdom, tips, and knowledge to make money. Like look it up. A lot of people study Proverbs. Anyway. Slow, consistent gains like regular farming, bossing, or skilling build wealth over time in OSRS. Trying to make a quick fortune can lead to risky and unsustainable methods. That was everything I just kind of fucking tangented about. I should probably read the verse, then read the line, then give my commentary. But anyway, sorry. So Proverbs 28:20. A faithful person will be richly blessed, but one eager to get rich will not go unpunished. So yes, faithful. Faithful means like trustworthy. And I don't know if you've heard this before. Stick to I'll read it again. Sorry. Stick to a consistent, proven ways of earning money rather than high-risk methods. Integrity and small actions could lead to greater rewards in the long run. So then, preface that with that being the preface to my tangent. Now I'm going to change my tangent. That's why I started the Fresh Start series the way I did. Is I wanted to show you how small, simple, proven strategies can scale up like immensely quickly, and that's what I was trying to teach through the Fresh Start series. So yeah, I think that covers that pretty well. Number 3, integrity and profits. Proverbs 16:8. Better a little with righteousness than much gain with injustice. As I talked about that a little bit before. Avoid shady or unethical practices like botting or scamming, which may bring quick gains but carry high risks and consequences. Honest work brings peace and stability. So, you may have heard of those who can be trusted with a little can be trusted with a lot, and that just keep that in mind. I think that's very important. Little lot, like when I talk about. I think I've talked about this before, and maybe I'll save it for another episode, but it's like sequential processing and batch processing. Sequential is where you do something from A to Z on one account so that you can polish and make it more efficient. And then batch processing is where you go you do step A on 50 accounts, and step B on 50 accounts, and step C at 50 accounts all the way to Z because it's more efficient to do that. So if you have a small error on the sequential part that you don't catch and you get to the batch step, you increase the error rate across the board, so you increase the amount of loss you have. So, if you scam a little and you scale scamming up, you run a higher risk. You're carrying a high risk of being, you know what I mean? So it's very important that you start with good little things and then try to get rid of the bad things while they're little in the thing you're trying to do, and then go to scale up after you've done that for a while. Okay. Proverbs 22:1. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. And this goes with reputation pays you more than the shiny stack of coins. And I think that just carries its weight on its own. Keeping a good reputation in the game like in life is worth more than gold. Treating others well, even in trades, helps build respect and trust. And respect and trust build wealth more than the work. So, I mean, like, it's just a higher level of value acquisition. But anyway, Proverbs 11:1. The Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him. If you don't like the word the Lord or God or whatever, you can just say karma. Karma detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights found favor with him. So like RNG, you know what I mean? Like chance, all that stuff. If you walk around, when you know, what goes around comes around. And if you are being honest, it is more likely that you're going to have good things come around to you. I think that's a perfectly fine way to talk about that. Fair dealing and trades and accurate pricing are valued by God. Like I said, if you have a problem with the word God, just switch this out. Are valued by others. You know what I mean? And people see that. You know what I mean? Like, people see honesty. Like, if you fuck up, people see that. But if people see you like trying and to do good, people notice that too, and it's very important, especially in making acquisition or value acquisition. Sorry, I'm going to say that a lot. Value acquisition. And build integrity in your character. Avoid deceitful practices as it can lead to losses in trust and reputation. And if you lose trust and reputation, it's a lot harder for you to make money. Like, for instance, let's say you are a botter, you are a scammer or whatever, and you're trying to scale up your RuneScape experience. Let's say, like, I don't want to use anybody specifically. Let's just use myself. If I wanted to enter the old school RuneScape space and scale up what I'm doing on old school RuneScape to bring it into more of a job, like bringing real money into old school RuneScape, scaling up old school RuneScape to somehow make money off of it, and I tried botting, or I tried like scam, and I ended up scamming people or rug pulling people or begging and then not paying people back and stuff like that, and then I tried to enter YouTube off that, I wouldn't make no money. You know what I mean? So like damaging your trust or reputation, that's why it's super imperative that you just do not act dishonestly. It is super against your own interest in making money. It's just like, I cannot hammer that home enough, which is why I'm repeating it so many times. Number 4, wisdom and discernment. Proverbs 24, 3-4. By wisdom, a house is built. Wisdom is making correct decisions with knowledge. Anyway, applied knowledge is wisdom. And through understanding, it is established. Through knowledge, its rooms are filled in rare, beautiful treasures. So it's saying wisdom, understanding, and knowledge is how you make money, not methods. Or that's why we learn methods. But it's like, those are the main mechanisms that which create wealth. Wisdom, understanding, knowledge. And again, I'm just outlining all this in case I'm just trying to encourage you to just go read the book and just start making money, start learning, and then start making money. You don't think it's Proverbs? I encourage you, if you don't want to look at the Bible, I encourage you to just go look, just educate yourself, get books. Like I said, basic economics, I think it would be like the number one. And then like, there's probably so many books out there for you to start learning. Like, but it's like all of these books and knowledge in the real world will apply to old school RuneScape. But anyway. In OSRS, understanding the best money-making methods and acquiring knowledge of the game's mechanics will allow you to build wealth more effectively. So I'm just going to speed run through these because I got to go to bed. I'm past my bedtimes, so let's just go. Proverbs 3:13-14. Blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. Wisdom about the market, item values, and the game economy can lead to better decisions that pay off over time. Proverbs 15:22. Plans fail for a lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. Joining a community or a guild where you can learn tips and strategies from experienced players can help you avoid common pitfalls and make smarter decisions. Link down below. The group's in the link down below. Discord's in the Discord down below, or Discord down below. Link. Come on in. We'll talk about making money anyway. Everybody's in there just talking about making money all the time. Yeah. Avoid greed and impulsiveness. Proverbs 23:4-5. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Do not trust your own cleverness. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle. Money comes and it goes. It's really easy to get caught up in a quest for riches and burn out in the process. Balance your efforts with rest and avoid shortcuts or schemes that promise fast wealth. Proverbs 28:22. The stingy are eager to get rich and are unaware that poverty awaits them. Greed or impatience can lead to unwise decisions that ultimately backfire. Seeking steady, honest gains builds long-term stability. Generosity and kindness. Proverbs 11:25. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. What goes around comes around. Proverbs 19:17. Whoever is kind to poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done. What goes around comes around. The value of rest and balance. Proverbs 23:4. Do not wear yourself out to get rich and have wisdom and show restraint. OSRS can be addictive. The grind is real. Maintaining balance, including taking breaks, helps you avoid burnout and keeps the gaming enjoyable. So I wrote this in big bold letters down here because you get caught up in the grind, and this helps me a lot. I have a big fancy journal right here. Pages and pages and pages of fucking notes. notes and where I've been, what I've been doing, whatever. I try to journal as much as possible. Like write down how much money you're making. I made this much money today. I made this much money. I lost this much money today. How did I feel? What am I doing? Journal, write it down. The more you can write down, you get caught up in the grind. One day you just pick up the journal and just read it back. It refreshes your soul, refreshes your spirit. You can jump right back into the grind, whatever. And it's good to have a community because the same thing happens in the community. That's why we farm nostalgia with our friends. It's why we talk and try to have a community, because it's like just bringing up why we're doing this. Because there's a inspirational start phase, which is what everybody's doing when they're watching YouTube videos. Then there's the long grind phase where the ruthlessness of the grind and not feeling good comes in, and then that's where everybody falls off. But if you can tough it through the grind and get to the end result, that's where fulfillment comes in, and then you can set your next goal and you become more experienced and better at everything. So anyway, notebook journal, track your progress. That's the end of it. Goodbye. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.